right, it's 5:05 on the dot. I think we can make a start. Welcome everyone. Thanks for attending and taking the time as well. As everyone may already know, this is part 3 to Scalene Academy's onboarding week. So for today, we will be covering a few topics, but generally it'd be a shorter session compared to our earlier sessions as well. So this is compared to Tuesday and Wednesday. Before we jump into it, I might just do a quick introduction for those that don't know me. As many may already know, there are a few Kevins as part of the Scalene team. I am an additional Kevin as well, as you can see. So I'm part of the founding team and lead projects here as well. Outside of my Web3 involvements, I'm also a manager in the Deloitte practice as well. So that's in the SAP, and I work in large-scale enterprise technology projects. Cool. So let's jump into what we want to cover for today. QR codes on the screen as well for those that haven't already done so. So for today, as mentioned, we'll be having a much shorter session. There really is only 2 other topics that we really wanted to cover as well. What are next steps in terms of what are the upcoming programs, as well as what do they look like and what does it mean for yourselves? And the second part is, how do you prepare for these upcoming as well? Oh, and before I continue as well, if anyone has any questions, feel free to just add them into the chat or the Q&A, and we can answer them as we go. So this is a more informal session. We're just talking really about next steps and really key actionables for yourselves to keep in mind as we progress. Cool. So let's dive right into it. So upcoming programs, what is next? Okay, so before we dive right into exactly what's upcoming next, we have a view here, right? So this first week is the onboarding camp. Next week we have the Google Web3 workshops, which will cover each in more in detail as well. But as you can see here, we also have the upcoming Scaling Developer Spring Camp, as well as the Scaling Design camps as well, which we will also expand further. And lastly, we have the Glitch Hackathon. So, but before we dive into each of these, let's go through the Scalene Academy platform, just so that everyone is familiar with how to interact with it as well. It's actually quite simple. Okay, can everyone still see my screen so far? Just maybe add a little comment here in the chat. Awesome, perfect, cool. So for those, for many, this might be very familiar and but for those new to this as well, please take a look. So this is our platform. This is the Scalene Academy platform, as you can see here. What you do here is you just navigate to either go to app or become a builder, and then that will take you to our core Academy platform. And from here, you see we have our current next steps. We have different programs as well. So currently, this is in the Web3 onboarding camp. But next, we have the Developer Spring Camp, as well as the Design Spring Camp. So the interface is actually quite simple. It's very familiar and easy to use. This is our course landing page. You, of course, will have your profile, which is currently the view here. But then over time, we'll also be releasing new and additional features. From a course's point of view, if you navigate to here, you can actually see this is the course breakdown. So if you go to Web3 onboarding, you can navigate to all of the different chapters and sections as well. So let's say we go to the developer camp. Oh, sorry, let's go to navigating the chaos. So these are all topics that we covered yesterday. As you can see here, all the information that we've covered and more will be added here. And then it's all up to you to just go through, complete the lesson, or join the Discord, and we can chat about any areas that you have questions about. The other feature as well that we will have later on would be videos, which will be coming later on, as well as quizzes as well, which will become part of the requirement for each of the courses as we go through. Okay, before I move forward, I see James has a question. So the question here is, do I need to complete the lessons and quizzes in order to get my deposit back? Yes. So in order to satisfy the requirements of completing the course, you will be required to enter and complete, as you can see here. So this is the completion of a lesson. But if there are quizzes as well, you'll be required to just go through and complete the quiz as well. I guess the core thinking here is you have to treat it more as it's more for yourself to understand how to navigate the quizzes, less so just completing it as a requirement. All of the quizzes, you can complete it as many times as you'd like. But yeah, you can complete it as many times as you like, but at the end of the day, what we at Scalene really want to do is to make sure that you, as the student, fundamentally know the concepts that we're trying to cover and for you to learn as well. But of course, we will see more of that as we progress through the academy. Okay, so and of course over here you have your sidebar panel as well. So this tells you clearly, okay, I've got 18 more lessons to go through in order for me to qualify as this entire course as completed. You also have a focus timer here as well for those that like the Pomodoro technique. I personally quite like it as well. I usually set it to 20 and away we go. Cool. All right. So that was an overview of the one other thing before we go through is let me go back to the course profile as well. So one other thing as well that I mentioned previously, but I didn't actually go through yet, is this button here. So join course discussion. This will take, for those of you that aren't in our Discord already, this button here will take you into our Discord, and then there'll be specific there'll be specific areas where you can discuss or raise questions about any topics here. So for example, if you're brand new to Web3 and you need a bit of help navigating the area, or perhaps you're new to you're not new to Web3 and you'd like to give advice to others who are jumping into Web3, you can very easily do that here by clicking this link. It'll take you to Discord, takes you straight to the relevant channels as well. One other thing as well before I go on is the course discussion page as well is it actually the channel that it takes you to is actually an exclusive one. So if you join through the normal channels, you won't actually be able to see it. You have to join through this way. And the reason for that, of course, is it gives you an exclusive role, which grants you access to that exclusive channel. We'll of course see more of this as we progress into the design as well as the developer spring camps as well. All right, so that was a quick overview of the Scalene Academy platform. Let's continue. In terms of what the next few weeks will look like. So as mentioned before, this is week 1. We are currently in the onboarding camp. Next, we will have the Google Web3 workshops. This will be 2 sessions that'll be happening next week. Please do look out for your Luma calendar invites. This will contain the Zoom links as well as for the time slots in your calendar. These sessions will take place Wednesday and Thursday next week, conscious of Easter holidays, which take place this weekend. So what this looks like for next week will be a fireside chat where we'll be covering what are the upcoming Google Web3 products, as well as what is the direction that they're taking. And then the second day, we'll have specific Google engineers come in as well, and then we'll be able to and they'll be able to guide us through with a hands-on approach to how we actually navigate and use those products as well. Okay, so action here for everyone. Please do look out for this, and we can go from there. Cool. All right, so that's the Google workshops, which are happening next week. Next, we'll talk a bit about our Scalene Developer Spring Camp. So I know we've talked about the Developer Spring Camp for a while, but now we'd like to talk more about what it actually entails. So overall, we can see that, you know, what is the structure. It's essentially a 4-week program, and it takes place every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So, and the structure is usually Mondays and Wednesdays would be the core lessons and learnings, where Fridays would be exclusive fireside chats as well. So from a topics point of view as well, you can see that it's week 1, it's introduction and blockchain fundamentals. Week 2, smart contract development part 1, as well as part 2 in the following week. We'll also cover a bit of front-end development, and followed by week 4, which is the final capstone project, as well as a demo day, which happens on Saturday, 13th of May as well. Don't worry at all. Luma calendar invites will also be shared so that people working across time zones will have it in their calendars as well. Also, one thing to mention, these sessions will happen live. However, if you're not able to make it, all of these sessions will be recorded and sent out by email so that everyone can view and catch up afterwards as well. So then that begs the question, what can you do right now? So the Developer Spring Camp right now, you're already able to enroll on Scalene. So if you haven't already, please visit this link. We will be sharing all slides as well as the recordings as well, so that you can easily access and refer back to it as well. So yes, key action for everyone who is interested, please visit this link, and it's essentially just the course platform that we saw before. Okay, moving along. Next, we have the Scalene Designer Spring Camp as well. So once again, let's talk about what that looks like. So this will start at the end of April and go towards May 13th. In terms of the structure, it's focused on Web3 design and essentially a 3-week course, all on Saturday. Contents are as follows. We have the first session, which is an introduction to Web3 design. Week 2, advanced Web3 design. And then week 3, capstone projects, as well as a demo day, which will happen on the Saturday. The key thing to note here is that this will overlap with the Developer Spring Camp as well. And there will be homework, activities, as well as an opportunity to work alongside. And this ties in really well with what the previous sessions that we've had as well, where we've talked about, you know, demystifying Web3. We've talked about what it takes to build a product in Web3. This is really cool because now we have a developer course that teaches you how to build per se. And then we also have a section which talks about how do we do design. And then we will have a week where, to support the capstone project, it will be an opportunity for you to both work together and form up as a group in order for that to happen. But of course, more details to be announced. Yeah, so once again, really want to reiterate the fact that the capstone project is not done in isolation. The capstone project is a joint effort between all your learnings as part of the Spring Camp, and as well as working with other members, other students who have also taken the journey, whether it be the same in the design course or in the developer course as well. And then that And then as we saw in previous sessions, that's what truly allows you to build a product and to make an impact in Web3. Cool. So next let's talk about the glitch hackathon as well. So as you can see, we have quite a bit of a development as well. We have the onboarding, we have the Google workshops, we have the spring camps, the 2 tracks, design and developer. It leads you to question, well, where can you go after this? And one thing that's something that we've been working on here at Scalene is, of course, the glitch hackathon. So we are partnering with Trinity Studios as well to make glitch an international event. And as you can see here, the dates are straight after. So May 19th and 21st. So this is straight after the capstone project dates. So for those, based off how we go in the spring design and developer camps, we can then proceed straight onto glitch hackathon. As you can see here, where it's not just an isolated event, we have lots of international partners with the main chains as well as different chains as well. And what you're doing here is you're competing for a total prize pool of 50 million Korean won, which is the equivalent of 56 K AUD. Not to worry, this isn't a single prize. There's multiple tracks as well. So it will be evenly split. And I believe everyone here would have every student here would definitely have a good running to place as we go. The key actionables here for everyone who is already interested, if you are keen already, please do sign up here. As well as that, we will also be sharing Luma calendar invites just to keep those in calendar so that you can see as well. All right. So before I continue, did anyone have any questions on what the next steps look like? All right, it's all good. Let's move on. So we know that these are the programs which are upcoming. So the next question that we think about is how can you prepare? What exactly do you need to know in order to get ready? So this got me thinking as well, right? So we've seen part 1, part 2. So part 1, we've covered demystifying Web3, the Web3 chaos as a concept. Part 2, we've broken down what is Web3 from a core principles point of view, as well as a view of what does it take to build product. So it leads me to think about, what else is important that we can equip students with currently. And this is where I've landed on at the moment, which is that Web2 skills act as the foundation for Web3. And I know this is a controversial thought as well. Web3 alone is not enough. You need to embrace Web2 in order to really understand and see the value that Web3 brings. So let me explain, what does this actually mean? Right. So let's take it from a development point of view. So if we were to look at Ethereum, we know that Solidity is the core language to program smart contracts. In order for you to succeed and excel in Solidity, you need to first, of course, understand JavaScript, right? So all of the base concepts are things that you need to learn in order for you to truly be successful in Solidity. This applies across the design path as well. So in order to be successful in Web3 design, you need to first master the Web2 design concepts. How do you design a authentication page? And then once you understand those concepts, then that would help you form what you need to know for Web3, right? And Web3 specifics would be things like signing in with MetaMask, signing transactions as well. So the perspective I'd like to leave everyone here with is to embrace Web2 in order for you to truly be successful in Web3. Another key thing to think about as well is industry knowledge. And this is something that Kevin touched on yesterday as well. In order for you to truly transform an existing industry, you first need to understand how it works, right? So the finance sector, which has been talked about quite a lot. In order for you to understand, okay, how can Web3 transform it? You need to first understand how does it operate in today's world, which is what products are sold and used. How do people achieve these things using the existing world? Cool. So, and then this also got me to think about, what are some other core skills which are required for you to be successful from a startup and hackathon point of view? And that's where these two came in quite promptly. So no matter how good you are as a developer or a designer, you still need to have these fundamental skills in order to be successful at building products or at a hackathon, right? So your ability to break down the tasks into smaller chunks that can be actioned, as well as your ability to manage what needs to be delivered by a certain time. This is especially relevant in hackathons. You've got 2 days to achieve this. So it really comes down to what you need to build or do and by when. So stepping that up one more bit as well, this then leads to the question of how do you operate, right? So for a hackathon, for a product that you're building, it is extremely important to have an approach, a method, or a process to how you do things. And the reason why I stress about this is this is not a Web3 concept. This is a Web2 concept, but it is the foundation for Web3. Nothing changes if you're doing Web3 things. Like you still need a process, a method to how you build a product. Web3 only comes in as an additional step. Oh, we need a smart contract interfaced in, but the build, the speccing out of what needs to be built, the design process is still the same in Web2 or in Web3. So this is a very basic method that I'd just like to leave everyone here with, but it's something that we'll cover and you'll see more of as we go throughout the workshops leading up to the hackathon as well. But essentially it's plan, build, measure, and repeat. So thinking back to what we've already covered, the planning really is, and also thinking back to our earlier sessions this week as well, right? The planning really is about defining what it is that we'll be building, what are the tasks that need to be done, as well as how much time will that take? Are we building something that will take months, or can this be achieved in a specific 2-week window or a 3-week window? So this part's extremely important because this really sets the scene. you need to set this as, and you need to use this as your base foundation before you go out and execute, because this sets the direction for where you will be going. The next part, of course, is pretty self-explanatory. It's the building process. Whether you're building, or so for example, like whether you're developing, designing, it's all just about doing the work, turning ideas into reality. The third part, of course, is about measuring and reviewing whether you've built a design that you've spec'd out with the team and it's launched. The measuring is all about how many customers have seen this, are you using this, what is the feedback, how long did it take for us to get to this point, what can we change about the specific process as well. And then the final part here is repeating. So from a product point of view, and if you were to break down product into development and design, it's all just a process. Sorry, it's all just a process that happens within this loop here. And this is something that I'm sure everyone here, even us at Scalene, we face this constantly as well. And it's something that we'd like to pass on to students as well here. Cool. All right. So as mentioned, we're going to keep the session short. So we'll leave this on the screen here, and then we'll switch over to Q&A. I see we have a few in the Q&A now. So we'll just go from the very top. Question number 1, what is the best place to do my research on industry? So this is a great question. And I too would like to know the answer of this. But from my personal experience as well, I'd say there's 2 parts. So, and this might seem a bit of a standard answer, but essentially there's 2 parts to it: through direct experience or through research online, industry reports, from there. The direct experience. So for example, you've just graduated uni, you're looking for a job, you've just got an internship either at a bank or a real estate company perhaps. Those are the best places for you to experience what actually goes on behind the scenes. And the reason, of course, is you're seeing you're experiencing a view of the world that is only seen if you are inside of that industry. So for example, I myself have worked in financial in the financial banking industry, and working in the business intelligence side of that, so like data analytics, I was exposed to, okay, how do the big 4 banks manage their data? So for example, customer and accounts and transactions, that's the basis of all banks. Only through working there can you experience, okay, this is how the industry operates. And then you combine that with research as well, right? So keep reading up industry trends. Where are industries going? What are the emerging techs which will transform industries? And that combined with your experience should give you a good view. Okay, so next question here is, what are the recommended tools for participating in the hackathon virtually? That's a great question. So in terms of recommended tools, it really depends on your submission. So one thing that we'd like to repeat as well, and we'd like to call out again that we have called out earlier, which is that in order for you to place in the Glitch Hackathon, one member of your team needs to attend Korea in person. Having said that, from a submission point of view, it's very easy to submit either a video or perhaps a live demo to your product that you built as well. So some tools are, the most common ones: Figma for your designs, video recording tools such as Loom to help you record a video of your product demo as well. Okay, next question. What chain do you think I should build on? This is always an interesting one, but as we saw in the earlier sessions this week, there definitely were a few different takes, but I tend to agree with what we heard earlier as well. You want to build where there are other builders already. And the reason for that is because that is where the most development and innovation will occur, because that's where the people are congregating. If you have a chain which isn't the main focus area of all the other developers, there will be developers who are much smarter than yourselves and have been in the industry for way longer than you. They'll be able to see things and pitch ideas to those chains, which will eventually change the direction and innovation as moving forward as well. So one example, as we saw recently, was ERC 4337, which is the account abstraction, which has taken place for Ethereum as well. Yes, that's right. Okay. Next question: can anyone join the Glitch Hackathon, or is there a selection process? That's also a great question. So at the moment, anyone can join the Glitch Hackathon. There is an application process, but I believe the model that they've taken is it's similar to the way Scalene Academy is structured. Deposits to participate, to commit that you will be participating, and refund upon submission. Okay, this is also a fun question as well. For the Glitch Hackathon, is there food and housing provided for on-site? So this one, I believe there will be food, as it is a 3-day event. And if you do attend there, I'm sure there will be much more than just food. There'll be catering, merch, and just the people that you'll meet as well. But from a housing point of view, I don't believe that they organize and facilitate the housing. But that is something that may change as we go. But we will confirm that leading up to it. Cool. And then another question as well: will there be investors at the hackathon? So short answer is yes. There most certainly will be investors. So that's actually a really good question as well. I might just segue over to the Glitch website as well. So as you can see here, this is the website, and the main reason why I'm coming over here is I just wanted to show everyone, this is the schedule as we saw, 19th to the 21st. And from a speaker's point of view, there will also be a wide array of speakers. But as you can see here, we do have prominent brands representing, and there will also be a vast array of investors coming in. So as we mentioned earlier, who knows, right? It all starts with the journey of committing to learn a new skill, whether it be development, Web3 development, or Web3 design, building a product, submitting and launching your product in front of a large audience, in front of investors. And all it takes is one decision for that idea to be on its way to change the world. All right. Before we wrap up, any final questions? Perfect. All right. Well, I know it's been a shorter session today, so I think let's keep it here. Thank you everyone for taking the time as well. As mentioned, we will be sharing all of these links as well as the recordings. So for those that were not able to make it today, you'll have a chance to catch up. Oh, one more question. The links for the Google Talks will be provided because I don't see them anyway. Yes, that's a really good call out. The sessions with Google for next week will be recorded as well and shared to everyone that has enrolled. And once again, the Luma invites for everyone will also be shared too, so that there will be that time slot saved in your calendars. Perfect. All right. Thank you everyone. Appreciate yourselves taking the time on this Thursday evening. Looking forward to our next session as well. All right, and guess we can start queuing the lo-fi again. Cool. Thanks everyone.